I need about 6 minutes of your time to help me with a decision that I need to make tomorrow. As you know, the governor called the legislature into a special session to consider changes to Proposition 2, otherwise known as the Medical Marijuana Initiative, that District 42 passed 2 weeks ago by 55 to 45. So my voters say that they want Proposition 2. So why are we 2 weeks from that decision and considering changes? So I want to talk about process just a little bit. In the legislature, in order for a bill to become law, it goes through as many as 11 different decision-making points. Some are actual votes, other types of decision-making points. And at each point, anyone, citizen, lawmaker, anybody can pop in and weigh in on a bill and say, there's an unintended consequence, there's something you've overlooked, maybe there's a grammar error. I mean, at any point, any change can be made to a bill, including that a citizen or stakeholder or a lawmaker can say, you know what, I have an idea for an improvement. And that typically is going to happen through that process, a very rigorous process, very deliberate process. And I think that's how we generally end up with better policy. With the initiative process, there's one shot only. So you got to get it right one time when it hits the ballot, and the people only vote on that form of it. Now, regardless of how a law becomes a law, whether it's through the legislative process or a citizens initiative, frequently we can come back and find that mistakes were made, things were overlooked, unintended consequences, or an improvement. Maybe times change, circumstances have changed, technology's changed. And so when you hear about 1,200 bills being filed every year in the legislature, overwhelmingly, most of those are tweaks to existing law. And we're always making these improvements. And largely because of you, largely because citizens bring these things to us, and we're able to come back, revisit laws, and make these improvements. Now, we're just 2 weeks out, though, so we haven't even implemented this law yet. But some people came together and recognized that there were some improvements that could be made to this initiative even before you voted. So it's been in the news, and you've probably heard a lot about it. There's been talk about the LDS Church has some involvement in this and wanting to make some improvements. Even the very drafters and sponsors of the Citizens Initiative have come forward and said, we think this is a better version. We think that these are improvements. And in fact, as I spoke to some of these sponsors just yesterday of the Citizens Initiative, they said, we don't even call it a compromise. We don't feel like it's a compromise. We feel like it's an implementation improvement, and better to do that now than sometime later. Let's make these improvements now. Well, what's hard about this is you just passed Prop 2 in the version that it's in 2 weeks ago, and I want to respect that. I want to honor your decision. Now, in our republic form of government, you elected me to go make these decisions for you, and theoretically and in reality, I study, I listen to you, I listen to various people, and I look at research, I look at data, anything that helps inform my decision. I'm engaged in that process. I'm listening to deliberation on these matters. I'm listening to the debate. And in this case, since this is so freshly voted on, it's just a little bit different to me. And it's just a little bit more difficult for me to just accept that, okay, I'm the one who's making the decision and I've got all this information. But some of you have already contacted me and said, I voted for Prop 2 and I want the compromise. Some people have contacted me and said, I want Prop 2 and I want you to leave it alone. Some have said, I voted against Prop 2 and I want the compromise. Some have said, I don't want any form of medical marijuana in my state. This makes it very difficult for me to just take at face value the 55-45 vote that we just had 2 weeks ago. So I'm asking you to just give me your opinions. I don't want to do this without you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post some comparisons of the initiative and the implementation recommendations that we'll be hearing tomorrow. Um, I don't want to, for this video, debate all those things. There are a lot of details in that prop. But I do see generally that some things are restricted more, but then there are some more protections that are given to citizens. And so I want to hear from you. So what will happen is at the end of the day, I'm going to do my best with all the information that I have to respect what you said to me 2 weeks ago at the ballot box, but also taking into consideration new information and new things that are purported to be improvements to the implementation. I'm going to do my best to make my best decision tomorrow, and but I want to give you this opportunity to weigh in. Please text me, email me. Texting is better. Pick up the phone and call me, and I hope to do well by you as your representative tomorrow.